Ooh.
Watercooler.
Ba-ba-ba-dum.
Watercooler. Watercooler.
Ba-ba-ba-dum. Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Loxamana, kick it with my cruel digital bud and friends. With me today, in no particular order, all the way in Long Beach, California. He's a producer for crying out loud. He cleans your ponds for Sunland Pond Cleaning Service. He just got a great new haircut. He's my #1 favorite guy. It's Kalen Bean.
What's going on, Chris? I feel so honored to be introduced first. It's
It's no particular
quite
order.
an accomplishment.
It's no particular order.
But
what
that
warm
I was
energy
first is
Kalen is bringing now
Yeah.
because of it. This is like
I
one of the
like
best
it.
Kalen intros.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
High
All right,
energy
next
Kalen.
up, he's the lead singer, songwriter for The Smoke and Kills. He's the voice of the Adam Carolla Show. He performs stand-up every weekend and is killing it all the way in Nohoka. It's Mike Dawson.
It's another Bluebird day in Nohoka, and I'm happy to be here on the Watercooler.
And you have, I like
I tried. I couldn't match
Gary
Kalen's
Beamer.
enthusiasm.
Oh, it's okay.
The lighting is on point, though. It is very blue.
Very blue. Nice mood lighting there.
And black lights.
Yeah.
Feel like John Wick is gonna kick down the door and just start shooting people.
This
And
is a den of indulgence.
I can tell. You know something crazy goes on in there just by the lighting, right? There's some stuff going on. And then last but not least, it's Matt.
Hey, brother.
Hey, no particular order. No particular order.
Nothing else needs to be said.
Oh no, he's somewhere in Texas. Anyway, no,
it's Halloween. It's Halloween.
We
glass.
have one of the writers for the Sword and Scale, also the producer, and he's on air for the Presumption podcast as well in Austin, Texas. I love this dude. He also is our very own food expert in-house. It's Mr. Matt Fondelier.
Hey again.
How's that? Better?
Oh yeah.
All
We're
right.
also feeling the warmth. Maybe I peed a little.
Oh,
Just a
mission
little.
accomplished. That you know when I just had a dog come over to my house, like a friend brought over a dog so she could visit the boy, and
That's how you talk about your friends' girlfriends. Shame on you, man.
What?
Respect all women. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, wait,
They wanted the dog to meet the baby. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, she wanted.
I perfectly
she didn't want to. She
understood.
wanted to visit the baby. She's met
The girlfriend wanted to visit the baby. She had to bring her dog.
That's exactly it. Thank you, Dawson. Oh, look who just joined us before I get to this story, because he'll have some thoughts on this, I'm sure. You know him. He is the producer, and he's also on Reasonable Doubt, one of the top legal podcasts.
Probably the only one I know of.
The only one I know of, too, in the world. We have Mr. Gary Smith.
What's up?
Yo, Gary.
Who would have come to do a podcast with a defense attorney?
Yeah, it helps. It helps. Yeah, and you're the only guy. So if we have any legal questions about, or just any podcast production questions of when you have a lawyer as a host, we'll ask you. All right. So, I was saying that I have a friend who came over to visit Benny, and she brought her dog. And she's like, okay, before I walk in, I'm going to hang out here because the dog might pee. He's really excited to see you. And you know,
How
when
old's the dog?
Huh?
How old is the dog?
I don't know, like a year or two.
Okay.
In human years.
Okay.
I don't go in dog years. I don't even, what is that? 18 in dog years? I don't know. So she's hold him in the porch. And then I thought about this for a while. Like, you know, when you go to your friend's house and the dog greets you and the dog pees a little bit, kind of like Matt peed a little bit when I introed him today.
Yeah.
I think it as a compliment. It's nice.
Wait a second. So this woman thinks her dog may pee, so she's holding it?
She's holding it on the porch outside before the dog comes in. Like, oh, this dog might pee, so let's wait a good few.
She's trying to temper the excitement.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd have my dog on a leash if I thought it was going to pee. I don't want it in my arms or hands at the time.
No. Sorry, by holding I meant like it's a big dog, so hold it by the collar and.
Okay, I'm with Gary here. I was expecting a super soaker. You know, just grab on and let it go.
Right, but yeah, when the dog pees out of excitement for you, I mean,
It's just
No,
a little
like,
bit.
nobody else does that. Who's
It's pretty flattering.
reactionary.
It's pretty
Yeah.
flattering.
you
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
don't like it in
compliment.
anyone else's house, but yes.
Yeah. Now, as I don't have a dog, Gary has a dog, Dawson has a dog, Matt has a dog, Kaylin had a dog. So is that okay with you guys as the owners? Are you embarrassed?
No.
No, it's
If my
not.
dog pees from excitement,
But when seeing somebody,
I mean, if it's in somebody's house, yeah, I'd probably get a little embarrassed. You know, I'd throw some
Yeah.
apologies out there. But it's probably not the
Yeah.
biggest deal in the
empty
world.
I
apology.
mean, yeah, I'm with Kaylin. If my dog did that in someone else's house, I'm asking where the 409 is, and like I'm
Yeah.
trying to take care of that myself as fast as possible because that's absolutely your fault and your responsibility.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But either way, I take it as a compliment, and I'm completely flattered. And when the dog pees, maybe I'll even mumble thank you.
Maybe you'll pee a little yourself.
I think you're right. We should be imitating each other. It's mirroring personalities.
You
It's
should just
quite a
pee on
compliment.
the dog and let him know who the boss is.
Oh,
We were gonna
Yeah,
get there
you're right.
eventually.
We had to
Yeah,
get there. We had to get there. We've been dancing around it.
we have been. You can't talk about urine or an animal without Dawson bringing up
Exactly.
that you can combine the two.
Exactly.
So, did the dog pee when it came into your house and met you?
No, well, what I did was no, the dog didn't pee on the porch.
Were you then offended?
I
Were you disappointed?
I was a little.
That it
I
didn't,
was a
yeah,
little.
okay,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, really? Nothing? Just dry? It's a Sahara desert on the porch. Yeah. So I opened my back door, and the dog just ran from the front door into the backyard, peed there. Yeah. So I didn't get any urine greetings, but it's okay. Next time, I think I got to pet him a little better. Either way, okay. So there's a couple things we got going on. First off, Matt, I was told, has an incredible Chez Fondue, like probably one of the best ones ever. Very special. he
correct.
said.
Oh, boy.
So we can.
why do you do this
We
to
have-
me,
we
Chris?
have
Every
that to look-
goddamn
We have
time.
that to look forward to. A very,
Oh,
very
boy.
special Chez Fondue.
No.
That's what he told me. So
No, my exact words were, "Don't bother. I'll do it if we need to."
I don't know. Your inflection was a little bit different when you told me about it. Kaylin's gonna have a quarter update, a flick-in. But before we get to the seggies and more, we do have a few announcements. So I guess I'll let Matt take the lead on this.
Oh, cool. Thanks for that. All right, so just fucking dunking on me left and right
Is
today.
it
What is
delegating
going
or
on?
shirking
Let it go.
responsibility?
No, it's all good.
You
No,
make
it's
the
good.
call.
You're right. It's all done.
I just don't want to forget anything. I feel like I'm gonna miss it.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna do this is a sports analogy, Chris. If we're gonna do an alley-oop play, you
Yeah.
gotta let me know to jump for the ball. You can't just
No.
chuck the
You
ball
got-
up into the air
You gotta
and
do
be
the
like,
no
"Yeah,
look
Matt's gonna
back."
slam it into the basket now." Because I'll
Yeah,
tell you
you
what,
know, like
I'm
all
not
those-
jumping. I'm not
Yeah,
jumping.
you know, like all those NBA games where the guy shouts, "Get ready to jump!" right as he's doing the alley-oop.
That's how you do it, right?
Thank you,
Sports
Gary.
analogy.
I love how
Jesus.
Matt's using a sports analogy against me. What the hell?
Uh,
But anyway, I just
Anyway,
lost for you.
but
no,
jump, Matt.
Slam that
hey,
thing home.
exciting
Jump.
news! Exciting news! Guess what, team? That's here that I'm looking at. The 5 of you. We have advertisers now. We're actually gonna make a little bit of money. Hey, great news! But fans, that means there's gonna be some ads. There are gonna be some ads, which
It's a
maybe
good
not
thing
the
because
best
these are
news for
things that
them,
you're
but
probably
we're
going to want to check
excited.
out. Yeah.
Yes, we want you to support us. But here's a little secret. You'll be able to support us in an even more direct manner. That's right. You sign up for our Patreon. You're not going to hear any commercials.
Is
We'll
this
be
an ad?
free going forward, minus
Kinda,
this ad that
kinda.
you're currently listening to, and any live reads that we did in the past 200 plus episodes, because we're not
So-
going back through.
On the Patreon feed, we're gonna do the regular show sans ads.
Correct.
Love
That's
it.
right. So
And
it's
I
also,
love it.
I believe, will be easier for our current Patreon subscribers because all the shows are just going to be on one feed, which I know is something that fans suggested we do anyway.
Yeah.
But also, while we're on announcements, we are taping our next movie club at WC. Kaylin selected the excellent action film Dread, not the terrible action film Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, but the newer one. It is on Netflix, so check it out. It's 90 minutes long. And if you want to sign up for our Patreon and join our movie club tier, we are going to be going through all that. And I'll tell you what, you want to get ready for an amazing Chez Fondue. I can't even wait.
It's
You
coming.
guys, if you haven't seen Dread yet, just know there's going to be a hell of a Chez for it.
I watched it last night, and yeah, it's a good time. It's definitely a good time. And I know that Chris watched it last night too. But I don't know if he had such a good time.
I almost live texted the whole thing to you, Caitlin. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna blow his phone up.
I watched it last night as well.
Yeah.
What?
See, look at
Gary,
us.
when did you watch it?
I watched it the night that Kaylin selected it.
So we'll
Yeah, I
be
watched
talking
it over
about
the
Dread.
weekend.
It's our new tier in the Patreon. We talk about a movie as a podcast, and it leads to other things too. It's fun. So
It's a revised
but-
here. It's not technically a new one. We've just changed the format a touch. So if you subscribe to the movie night, you needn't do anything.
I like the word needn't.
Me too.
Yeah. But
So
either way,
tomorrow,
good things for everyone. And I'm speaking of everybody who's on this podcast, not you, the listener, but good things for us. No, it's good things for everybody. We're really excited about this, and yeah, just we love that there are more ways to support our show now, and we appreciate you, the listener, for hanging with us. Go ahead,
I
Josh.
just want to give a shout out to, we're on a new platform called Spreaker.
Yeah.
And this is a platform that I've been working with on Crying Out Loud for a little while now, and I really like them. They've been nothing but great since we moved over there, and so thank you, Spreaker, for hosting us.
I would like to make
appreciate
one. I would like to make one little clarification. The ad-free podcast going on the Patreon page starts with the episode you're listening to right now. We're not going backwards. If you are
Yeah.
behind, you're going to have to listen to some shows with some ads. Sorry about that. But going forward, all Patreon subscribers will get ad-free versions of every Monday or Tuesday show. The free show will remain ad-free on Patreon only.
And then you'll
All
get a
right.
second episode on top of that too. So
All good
there you go.
things.
All good things.
Good things. All right.
real
So-
quick, as far as the next movie night, we need to find out who picks that movie,
And
so
announce it.
that during our movie Clubba B tomorrow, that person can tell us at the end what movie we're watching next time.
Is this whole thing turned into a production meeting now? What the hell? All right, let's. So I went to Ikea yesterday, and I was thinking, look, I know Sarah Michelle Gellar went on some talk show and talked crap on Ikea, saying, well, I'm not in college anymore. I don't have to shop at Ikea. And I get it. There's some stuff at Ikea you can spot a mile away and just go, that's Ikea. But they have some cleverly built furniture, some cool ideas. I think some of it's pretty cool still. So I was at Ikea picking up an order for Jen. She ordered something online and she had me pick it up. And it didn't give the option of, oh, I'm gonna have somebody else pick it up. So
Did she make you go to a local one, or did you have to go to that fucking
I went to the largest
size
Ikea in the
one in
Western
Burbank?
Hemisphere.
that place sucks?
What is it, Burbank?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go there. I find
Never
my
been in there.
Yeah, it's great. So it's on
Yeah.
IKEA Way. It has its own street. So
Right.
I
So
made-
weird that they built it on IKEA Way.
so just
Coin-
love
You
it.
know,
It's a
that street
coincidence.
was
Coincidence.
there for years. It was IKEA
Coincidence.
Way, and then somebody went, "We should put an IKEA right here."
Yeah,
Just incredible luck for them.
I think so too. So I go over to the place where you pick up the online orders, and Jen and I need to let them know I'm here, and like, oh, you got to click the link. So I Jen sends me all the info, like the account number, what the order is, and the link as a screenshot. Now
A screenshot.
I can't click that. I can't click it. I can't click the screenshot.
You can copy and paste it now, which is
No,
helpful.
you would think, but because the link is so long, it's on multiple lines, and the technology isn't there yet so it just thinks each line is a different link, and I can't copy the whole thing. So I go up there. I'm like, can you just look it up by looking at my text? It has the account number, all the name, all this stuff. And
That mic
Going
does
on?
nothing.
and the
Is
guy's
that
like,
Dustin's normal dog?
the guy's like, no, you got to click that link. It's like, all right. So I eventually get the link working. I have her resend it to me, copy and paste the link. I click the link, and it's like, all right, Jennifer, your order will be ready in 1 minute. So I'm just waiting there. I'm already frustrated now, this whole screenshot business.
Oh, I would have been frustrated before I hit the parking lot of that place. The place is annoying.
And then this woman comes out rolling a cart with all this stuff. And it's like a few things. And then she's like, is Jennifer here? Jennifer. And I raise my hand. I raise my hand and I walk up to her and I go, "That's me." And she looks at me and she almost looks upset. She's like, "This is for Jennifer." Like, I'm picking it up for Jennifer. Jennifer's my
Now, see, Chris, this
My
is where you made the mistake. You are in a place where you could have just stuck with "I am Jennifer."
Yeah.
That is true. What are they gonna do, man?
You should have.
2023.
No, you're right. But she this is a type A personality I was dealing with. She gave me the up. Now, like, she's upset that I
That
even
makes it more
had
fun.
the gall to place an order, even if my name was Jennifer. You should change it. The way Kalen changes his name to Steve when he orders a coffee.
Michael.
Whatever, Gary Steve, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how dare you even come up to me and say that you're picking up for Jennifer? But I do. I said, "I'm Jennifer. Here's the order." I show her the list of stuff. And when I open that link, it's like it gives me a QR code for the person to scan to prove that I am the owner of these items. So I have the QR code and I give her, I'm like, "Oh, I think you're supposed to scan this." And she looks at me, she's like, "I need your order number." I'm like, "Can't you just scan this?" It says you can scan it. "No, give me your order number." And I go, "Okay." So now I got to go find that screenshot again. So I go back, I find the screenshot, and the order number is like a 9-digit number. So I go, "Okay, the order number is 455," and then she like turns around and walks away upset. And because she knows that I have it now. So I stop her and I go, "Hey, I didn't finish reading this to you yet." And then I just start reading it as slowly as possible. The rest of these, as she is turned around and she's just looking back at me and just like stopped, like waiting for me to finish. And I'm just like 4, 5, 5, 7,
Niner.
2, 8, 6, 9. And then at the E in 9, she just walks away super upset. And man, it felt freaking good. You don't treat people like that. You don't treat people like that. And then and then now I'm grumpy. Jen's telling me, like, I'm deteriorating. I'm becoming an old man. I'm literally looking out the window going, "Oh, the trash guy came an hour earlier today." Like I just have old man things that I'm just saying now. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, the whole kids these days, get off my lawn. I get it. I get those guys now. I get it. They make sense to me. These people, the people waving their fists at society, I get them. And
You're one of them.
I'm one of them now. Yeah, I've joined the club, and it just feels right. I belong here.
Not that any of them are angry, but you're turning into one of those people from the insurance commercials.
Yeah. My favorite insurance commercials are the
Yeah.
guys explaining them how the younger generation lives. I am. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I need one of those guys in my life now. But then something else that's been bothering me, and it is the younger generation, but it's, you go order food or coffee, at one of those places where they flip the iPad around, whatever. I've talked about how egregious the tipping is for those things anyway. But the no eye contact, the entire transaction, and then you still expect me to tip is insane. Like they're just like, "Okay, what do you want? Got it. All right, I'll be ready in 15 minutes. Flip it over, ask you a question. Let me know what you think." And then just wait
I
there.
know what you think.
I got a tip. I got the tip screen today at a food truck that I had walked to, and I was kind of resentful. I was like, "What am I tipping you for? Like, I walked across downtown to come here and purchase tacos. Like, I've completed this transaction," and then it's like it's on the little thing, like the little handheld like scanner card reader thing, and it's in such a way that she can see that I can see the screen, and she's going to see what I pick. And it's
they see the whole time. I'm thinking like that's a mirrored screen on their end. Like there's something there that they're seeing as you're typing it in. Even if you do custom tip, they're seeing a live digital entry of what you're putting in, and it's insane. Now I'm doing the work. Now I'm typing it in myself.
Right.
I'm using the touch screen.
But it's like
the only tip I should be giving you, I should be giving you my W-9. Okay, because I'm doing all the work here.
Gary walked to a food truck.
That's right.
You shouldn't tip. It's a food truck.
But then Dawson, here's the dilemma is like, okay, we've completed this transaction. I've told you what I want. You've told me how much it costs. And in moments, you and the guy standing next to you will be cooking that food.
Right.
I don't know if I want to not tip in that scenario.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
it's
if you're calling a place ahead of time and then picking up, it's a little easier to go a little lower on the tip. But when you got to order and then wait for it, then you get a little worried. Like, Yeah,
I sometimes order a Baroni's pizza, which is a killer pizza out here in the valley. They're so good, they don't deliver. You have to go pick it up. And I still give them a couple of bucks on the tip, even though I'm delivering my own pizza.
I'm saying, regardless, we've gone over this. Yeah, it's getting egregious. Like it starts at 20 and it's like 22 and then 20.
Right.
Oh, this one
Right.
that I went to today said, I think it started at 18 and it said okay, and then 20 said good, and then like 22 said great in parentheses underneath it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So there. Yeah. It. Look, we've talked about this, but the no eye contact. Like you think you deserve this. You're telling me have a great day, but you're not even looking up. And it's the phones, right? It's the phones. Like, pay attention. Like next time you go into somewhere, see what it's like for eye contact. You make people uncomfortable when you look at them in the eye these days. It's
I gotta tell you, buddy, you're living in LA. You're fucking living
Is
in
it an
LA
LA
a
thing?
little too long. Yes.
It's
First
wild.
of all, every restaurant in Austin is a food truck, so you just tip every food truck. That's just I've given up on that. But the eye contact, the friendly service, all that stuff, that's strictly, and I think it's not just Austin. I think it's just strictly an LA thing, because I'm telling you, when I first moved out here, I actually voiced out loud that I just could not believe how nice everybody was and how nice everybody seemed. And it's just strictly a result of like Southern hospitality, which it just does not exist in LA.
Yeah.
And I love LA.
It's a little better in Orange County, even. I mean, I think it is somewhat localized to LA, but you're right. When I'm up in LA, there is none of that like fucking kind service or like actually pretending you're trying to connect with people.
Well, at least pretend like you're trying to earn this undeserved tip.
Yeah, exactly.
and then I'll do it. Like I will tip because I do have server's guilt. Like I was a server for many years, so I've always tipped 20% at every restaurant, even if I get bad service. Like it's just like a weird thing I have, right? So, but now it's just getting annoying. It's like, do you even care anymore? You just think you're entitled to it. So regardless, just give some eye contact every once in a while, you kids, and get off my lawn. All right. Lastly, it's my friend's birthday. We all know him, Matt D'Andrea. He's the co-host of
Hey.
It's his birthday today, Matt.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
I'm sure you'll be happy that I named you for this next topic, but it's kind of a tech talk. So I texted him. You know what? My move is just to put me, just to show that I'm a little bit better than everybody is. I see it's your birthday on Facebook, and then I text you.
Mine too.
I don't write on your Facebook wall.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your birthday? You're getting the text, mister.
Well, what Chris texts is HBD.
Yeah, all lowercase.
Yeah, all lowercase, no exclamation point, no emoji.
No emoji? No.
No emoji. Just
No.
HBD. Like I know what it is.
Yeah. That was my move with Jenny. Whenever I would do something public on social media when we were dating, is I would always just go HBD lowercase on like Facebook or wherever. So I texted him happy birthday, gave him the celebration emoji, the gift emoji, and he said something really nice back. He said, "Thanks so much. Hope you're doing great." It was really sweet. But it said sent with Siri, and it's like, type it out. I know you're probably driving. I get it, but I don't know the voice to text, or just don't. I don't want them to. I don't want to know.
There is a good chance that he's driving, just based on
think?
who he is and his
And with
profession. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you can give him a pass on this one.
His primary car has CarPlay these days, so he almost certainly was driving, which I give a pass if I know that you use CarPlay, because it's like it is a lot easier and safer. Although for me, I would just mark that text as unread and type it out when I got somewhere.
No, you're totally right. And by the way, I am a huge supporter of not texting while driving. I don't even do it. I actually use Siri a lot too. But just something that heartfelt, like it was really sweet and nice. I wonder how you dictate that to Siri and still have that warmth. But I mean, he did it, I guess. It was weird that it just felt like there was a middleman that didn't need to be there. This is me and Matt, and Siri needed to step aside. And by the way, I don't even want to keep saying her name because you're not even supposed to say the word hey anymore before it. It just automatically jumps at you if you just say her first name now. Dawson wouldn't get
He who
this.
must not be named.
Yeah. So, and it's been today.
I've tried a bunch of times to get her attention on my iPad, and she doesn't listen to me. Maybe I disabled it from the start. I don't know.
Probably have it turned off.
Today,
Yeah.
Adam was talking to me and he said the word thirsty and it activated. So I'm just, I'm getting a little paranoid here. But anyway, look, we got seggies. We got a lot of stuff to get to. So why don't we start off with some comments? You guys want to do it?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. And once again, these are all comments. Parentheses comments found on within our Facebook group. We have our very own Facebook group, and it's very easy to join. If you're listening to this show and you're
It's
not
private.
a part of the Facebook group, you're missing out on a whole other element of this podcast. We were 2D. This Facebook group makes us 4D. All right, there's interaction. It's a whole other level of enjoying this show. So go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Army Worldwide LLC. Then answer a few questions, and then we may let you in if you answer them correctly. It's very
Or
easy.
mostly correctly.
It's my favorite place on the internet. Somebody did chime in when they signed up. This was hard to find.
That's us.
Yeah, that's us. But look, the barrier to entry is
Yeah,
a little.
well, That's the first task in the gauntlet of joining the group.
I think so
Find the
too.
group.
Find the group, and when you're here, you'll never want to leave. It's a wonderful place. So why don't we look at some of our comments here? Let's see. Ryan Scripps. He says, Chris, any chance you could put the free podcasts on the Patreon feed so I don't have to switch between the two in order to listen to shows in order?
Hey, good
Covers
news.
that.
Yes.
Ryan,
You got it,
today's
man.
your day, buddy. Yeah. Today's your day. What a day that's got. We are going to start doing that. So congratulations, Ryan. And we could have woven that, I guess, into the comments a little more cleanly to where the beginning of the show wouldn't have sounded so much like an ad, but I didn't think ahead that much. All right, Jeff Debbie says, hey Chris, look what's in the Nashville airport now.
Hattie B's.
Yeah.
It's a hot hat.
I love Jeff Debbie. You guys know Jeff Debbie and his wife.
Fuck
They
yeah.
were on the cruises.
Wife Debbie Jeff.
Yeah, there you go. Funnest fucking people in the world.
Yeah. Well, good to hear.
Somebody commented on that comment that they would be a little nervous to have Hattie B's before stepping onto a plane. And
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. As one who was recently in an airport, I'm always shocked at how long the lines are for like the fucking brisket taco place or whatever before you're about to
Right.
take a multi-hour flight. Like, what are you doing, man?
Well, if you got
Not
a
a
lot of
good
time
idea.
to kill.
Yeah.
Just may as well spend it sitting on the john blowing your ass out. Like,
Well, imagine this too. Say you're hungover and you're flying home, and your stomach and everything is not in the greatest position. I would think twice before getting that high Hattie B's and getting on a
Yeah.
plane.
Actually, can I take a survey from you guys? When people go to the bathroom on the plane, because obviously they walk down the aisle, sometimes they have to wait in line. Do you pay attention to how long that person is in the bathroom, or do you just forget? You don't even look.
No, none of my business.
Matt,
I agree.
you don't
I
look?
completely agree.
Gary?
No, I'm only looking at the indicator light just on an occasion. So if I turn around and it's red,
You just look-
I'm not going to just be like staring at it until it turns
Right.
green. I'll just, in a few more, a few minutes, I'll just see like, hey, maybe it's green now. And if it is, great. If not, like, I don't even think about it at all.
Kaylin, Gary?
I've never thought about it ever. No.
I think the only scenario in which I would notice it is if there was a line
Yeah.
of some sort and like somebody enters with knowledge that the line exists and is taking more than the average amount of time, then I'd start to notice that.
Yeah.
It's-
'Cause
come
I
on,
have
man, what are you
anxiety
doing?
about that. If I need to be in that bathroom for, a Hattie B's incident, I get nervous because but now I know nobody cares. Nobody's looking. Just go. Do your thing.
Right.
Thing,
Yeah.
man.
Open up Facebook or whatever. Just have fun in there, man. Do your
Join our group.
thing. Yeah, because nobody's paying attention. That's good to know. Because I do have bathroom anxieties, right? Like I also noticed that when I go to the bathroom at a public place, and it's one of those single bathrooms, like this restaurant only has one bathroom, and you jiggle the handle, it's locked, but it's a pretty loud jiggle, so the person in there is now given the, hey, let's wrap this thing up, let's go. I will not wait out there if there's no line. I'll jiggle the handle, I'm like, oop, and I'll just like kind of make myself get lost because I don't want the person I jiggle the handle. I don't want them to think I was rushing them, and because now that feels rude. I didn't mean that jiggle to be so loud, and so I'll just wait. I'll go back and sit down until that person leaves now, and I'll kind of just keep an eye on it.
That's not true. I've seen you do this. You hide and you peek your head around the corner and you watch the next person who gets in line and you watch them become the jiggle handler.
He calls it the peekapoo.
That's
exactly.
Right. So yeah, I'll peekapoo sometimes, but
that sounds so much worse than it should be.
Why?
I'll let people
moving on
that out on their own.
Gary has the weirdest smile right now. All right. Oh, Alvaro Zaragoza. He says, looky, the whole archive is now available of Watercooler. And then, by the way, not just Watercooler, Resume. That's right.
What?
Nice.
The OG.
Hey, Chris, I got news for you. We're splitting it 5 ways on Resume episodes.
That's right. Not doing that math.
I am not fucking further complicating the accounting on this bullshit.
I remember vaguely, Chris, doing an episode of Resume with you. Am I insane, or did we do one?
We did. And we also did, we did that. And you've definitely been on Resume. We actually recorded at your house. And then I've been on your show, Front of House, as well. But no, it wasn't the same day, but you've definitely been on Resume.
Okay. I thought
How long ago? When did you start that?
2015. March of 2015. Dr.
Wow.
My first guest. And then I had it was a good show. Like I had my second episode was AJ from the Backstreet Boys.
Right.
You had range too. Like you got very good, high quality, notable guests, but you didn't like pigeonhole yourself. You got them from a wide variety of like professions. It was cool.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the format of it was really ingenious. It's called Resume, and it's basically, okay, let's go through your work history. How do you get here?
That's right.
It's the simplest. There we go. That's
Maybe
it.
I'll bring it back. Sorry, guys, you're out.
I was a big fan of it.
I'm going to be honest. I saw that the whole archive popped up as well, and I went back and I listened to episode 1, the very first episode that we did. Dawson, you were not in that one. Nick Davis was there, but you joined shortly thereafter. But
how was it?
It was great. I thought it was great. It's literally just like this. It really has not changed. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing to say that we haven't changed since 2015, but I thought that the dynamic felt exactly how it always has. But then again, I've been friends with you guys all this time. So
maybe I'll have some Christopher comments one day for episode 1 because I'm curious to go back.
Curious now too, yeah.
Any idea what number Arrowhead is? Because I'm curious to go back and listen to that episode too.
We should review that one. But anyway, so all of the Watercooler episodes, ever since we moved to Spreaker, all the Watercooler episodes and Resume is back. And by the Resume, I will
108, Kaylin.
It debuted at like number 9 on iTunes overall. Like,
wow,
it was right up there with Bill Burr's podcast. It was back in 2015. So It was pretty cray. I don't know what happened. I mean, the show has changed for the better, and here we are now. All right, so but yeah, please check out the archive. It's there's a lot of content there that has just been uncovered.
Hunger Dome.
Yeah. Oh, Hunger Dome. Come on, dude.
Cheese ball.
Cheese ball. See,
that's food. I mean, come on. I think about that often.
Which we call best food, but I also saw that it was in fact called, due to copyright issues, the practically starving semicircle.
That's right.
That's right. Oh,
bacon one, right?
Look at us.
No, the sandwich one.
You'll have to listen and find out.
Spoiler.
Please enjoy the complete archive, everybody. Ryan Huff says the pro move at Epcot, Japan, on a balmy Florida summer day. 100% the Kirin beer slushy.
Nice.
Sounds so awesome.
A beer slushy, yes.
I never knew I wanted that before. And I can't believe I've never heard of that before.
And why? Yeah.
Why is that not a thing?
Slushies? I want nothing more right now than a beer slushy. That sounds
Fuck it.
Let's do it, guys. Let's go. Let's all go to Disney World together.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
CrimeCon next year.
All the families. Again,
It's in
not
Nashville.
in Orlando next year. It's in Nashville.
Well, let's go to Orlando during CrimeCon. Ryan also quoted Matt from last episode. Quote: "It's time for some pleasure all over this island." When Matt visited Pleasure Island last week. So there we go. By the way, I loved Matt's Orlando recap, and yeah, dude, I'm glad you didn't go to Disney World, because if you would have went to that theme park, the water park.
Yeah.
Which one? There's several water parks.
Caleb knows.
I know.
What is
Typhoon
it?
Lagoon.
Typhoon Lagoon.
I think
that's
so.
right.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah,
There is a water slide. I'm laughing, but it's actually horrific.
The details of it are actually horrific.
Yeah.
I just heard people. Yeah. go
Where
on.
some woman went on there and got the craziest wedgie because the drop was just so severe. It's
But,
like,
like,
cross her legs.
five-story-
She. Right. She.
Yeah, you
but
gotta
like
cross
she
your
needed
ankles.
surgery.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, well, she I think her ankles got uncrossed because of the velocity of this slide. I don't know how that happens, but I think she got low everyone. But she her legs were uncrossed, and she's now suing Disney for $50,000 because
That's it.
That's
Because-
it's gotta be more than that.
50
Oh, no,
million.
not.
It's got to be
50K.
$50,000
Yeah.
for.
it's real. It's 50K.
What lawyer is going to allow you to
Dude,
do that?
fucking Mickey Mouse makes that much.
And by the way, it's not just her; it's like her and her husband as a couple they're suing because of what it did. I don't even want to. All the headlines are like it's because she got a wedgie, but if you read exactly what happened to her, her area, it's
really? What?
it's C-section esque.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
Yeah. Got any more comments?
Yeah, let's see some shape on the way.
Oh,
Yeah, those are our comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. We appreciate you.
Ooh, no, that's it. We don't have more comments.
Is there another one on there that caught your eye?
Okay, Ryan Marquette. He gave me a recommendation because remember how I was singing "Sex and Candy" live,
Yeah.
and then
kids.
there were kids that came by. So Mikey said, "Just say milk and candy. Nobody's gonna notice the difference. Just say I smell milk and candy," and then it's catered to the kids. Ryan says, "How about snacks and candy?" And yeah, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah,
That
that's-
you could
that's
actually
the way
even
to go.
mumble snacks, and it sounds like sex.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that one
It's the winner.
is the winner. So,
It stays true to the rhyme too.
yeah, and the sibilance.
Yeah. The whatever. You know what I'm saying. Not really the rhyme, but snacks and sex. It works.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and lastly, Eric Lepore. We love Eric. He says, listening to Dawson's story and hearing about his friend just spoke with authority and got away with the golf cart wreck made me think, how far have any of you gotten by simply acting like you were supposed to be there? For example, my wife and I one time made it onto pit road at Indianapolis Motor Speedway during the Brickyard 400. By the time the security guard figured it out, we were well on the inside. When he questioned us, he said, "Just don't do anything to make me regret this." After that, we were free to roam around. Yeah, I agree, Eric. You got to do it. Just act like you're supposed to be there.
I have a great story about this. Back when I forget which Tom Petty album it was, but there was a song on the album called "Room at the Top of the World." And I was in radio in Santa Barbara at the time, and we knew through the station, we knew a guy who has a house right above the Santa Barbara Bowl. So they got a balcony and they can see every concert. So instead of giving away tickets to the concert and having a party, we had to qualify to get into this room on the top of the world and watch the concert from someone's balcony. Well, my buddy Billy kept the laminate, the shitty radio station laminate that we made for this party. He went to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at Staples a year later and got all the way backstage with this shitty K-tie laminate. And then as he's walking up to the band green room, he sees Tom, on the other side of the security guard. And finally, that was the first security guard who goes, what is this Mickey Mouse shit? How the fuck did you get back here with this? Right when he's saying that, Ron Blair, who played bass for the band at the time, yells, "Hey, Billy." And then the security guard guy goes, "Well, good job, buddy. You made it. You're in."
Yeah. I like it when the security's just over it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you earned it. Go have fun, you. Go have fun. I remember I used to go to a lot of like the Vans Warp Tours and like the Bamboozles and all the like the punk rocky pop punk festivals that were held on college campuses back in the day. And I remember one of them, I think it was Bamboozle West, it was called. It was at Cal State Pomona. And it was like a 2-day thing. So we were staying at my friend's dorm. And so she had access to like their business center or the printer or the library, whatever it was at a dorm, not a business center, I guess. And we saw that the wristbands to get backstage were just wristbands that were checkered, like black and white checkered. So
you can print that shit out easy, baby.
that's exactly right, Gary. So we printed out a bunch of them, and we were able to get backstage and just do whatever there. And also one time, and then the Matt and Joel story, just say, oh yeah,
Do whatever there. Sounds like you pulled up on a pretty juicy part of that story you don't want to tell. And I won't shade you because I told the golf cart story last episode that I pulled up real short on it. It's a fucking banger if I would tell the whole story.
Yeah. Well, the ways that me and my friends have snuck around like the Warp Tours and the Bamboozles or the festivals and stuff is pretty fun. Like we've all had our different ways of getting in.
Yeah, you do whatever.
Fake being in a band.
Do whatever it takes, man.
Do whatever there.
Matt Edgar, my friend that he's the comedian. I've mentioned him a few times before. He's actually on Resume. He was on with Tony Hinchcliffe in the 4th episode that we did.
Oh.
So he got in a Warp Tour once by going there the day before, because this is a traveling festival, and he parked in the part where they build around the festival around, and then he just parks his car and he wakes up and he's in the middle of the festival, and that's how he got in.
That's ingenious.
Yeah. And and he was able to go to Vans Warped Tour that way, because we never bought tickets. It was almost a challenge for us. Like, how can we go without buying? I feel bad because obviously this is a business, but they were sold out and we were poor, so we had to figure out ways to get in. And so those are some of the
That's
ways.
half the fun is the game of like, can we do it?
Yeah, I remember one time we all got in except for one guy, but we'd take like 3 cars just filled with dudes, like 3 sedans with 6 guys in it each. Like there's 4 guys just like crammed in the back seat. And I remember one year all of us got in except for one guy, and he had to just go and sleep in the car. Felt bad, but you gotta figure it out and earn it. All right. Well, anyway, let's go on to our next seggy, and that will be the very, very special Flicking the Bean. Kaylin, what do you got?
We all want to know one thing.
One thing.
It's what we need.
We need.
So get on that mic.
The mic.
Flick the bean.
Oh, Kaylin, flick the bean. Respect all women.
Over the weekend, I watched the new Netflix Netflix movie Reptile.
I've
I
heard
don't know if you
Mortal
guys have seen it.
Kombat?
I
No.
wish. Oh my god, a reptile origin story.
Yeah, dude,
That's
that
what
would
we
be
freaking
sick.
need.
That's
Okay,
what that is, right?
No,
Mortal
that's
Kombat.
definitely not
They
what that is.
created Reptile. Obviously they had Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Then they had Reptile, and they had like a few others that were just like the same version of like that ninja. It's like
Smoke.
Smoke. They just
Oh yeah,
they ran out of computer data to create a new character, so they just gave him a new skin.
Sorry, I got
I
excited.
wonder where
What
the
is Reptile?
sequel to that is coming, because the one that they did like 2 years ago was actually pretty fucking
I
good.
liked
was
it.
good.
I really
And I
liked it.
don't think Reptile was in that one.
By the way, you want Whiplash? Watch the newest Mortal Kombat and then go back and watch the first 2. It's pretty wild how different they are.
I love the original Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. I used to watch it all the time.
Yep. Me too.
But the most recent one that they made was pretty fucking good, and they left it open for like sequels. I wonder what's happening with that. Has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. Okay, this is
I've heard about the discrepancy of Rotten Tomatoes critic score to audience score. I saw that
for this movie.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it out right now. Critics, and it's been changing because I looked it up like when I first saw it on like Thursday or Friday, and it's definitely the audience score has moved upwards over that time. Right now, it's at 42% critics, 77% audience. Written and directed by Grant Singer, who this is his directorial debut. He's a music video director for the most, he does he has done videos for The Weeknd, Future, Taylor Swift, Sam Smith, so he's a big deal. It stars Benicio del Toro,
Love him.
Justin Timberlake,
Love him.
Alicia Silverstone,
Love her.
Michael Pitt.
This is really.
You might know if you've seen him. He's solid. The movie is
DDT.
okay. I was thinking about this, and well, I'll get into it. But it's got to be Sicario, right?
it's
He's
Sicario.
so fucking badass in Sicario,
Yeah.
especially that
Traffic-
last scene.
Traffic would be a close second for me, but I think it's Sicario.
Yeah. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes. It's kind of your standard murder mystery
You just got the
movie.
chills when you read that runtime.
Yeah, it's your standard murder mystery. Benicio del Toro, he plays a detective. He's trying to solve the murder of a real estate agent. This is a Netflix original, so my expectations were lowered going into it.
That sucks
And-
that we think that.
Well, they did it to themselves, didn't they?
Did they?
it's
they
their
did,
fault.
Caleb. Yes, they did.
Because, like, okay, if I told you a movie is an Amazon original, it doesn't.
Well,
have
you
the
know
same
what's
thing.
funny is someone brought this up to me the other day. They go, "Hey, what's up with this A24? Like, what are they?" And I had to be like, "Oh, okay, here we go. That means it's notable. Like this movie, my expectations have now gone up now that I know it's an A24 movie. If it's a
Oh,
Netflix movie, my expectations have gone down on what I should be expecting.
right.
So, and
Even
the
Apple-
person I blame is Netflix for doing that to
You know
themselves.
what this used to be? Dawson might relate. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if Dawson did this too, but I used to go listen to bands just by what label they were on. Like growing up, like, oh, they're on this label. Like I have high expectations, or I'm gonna like this band because they're signed to a
You
certain
did that for Fat Records all the time, huh?
Fat Records, Epitaph, Vagrant,
Right.
Drive Through, like all those pop punk emo labels. I was like, oh, they're legit. They're signed there. Victory, whatever. Yeah. So I based off of the lip. Now nobody cares the label you're signed to when you're putting out music, right?
No.
But movie studios, if they're on A24, like, oh
yeah, movie
attention.
studios definitely plays a factor. I mean,
Lionsgate's kind of exciting.
Blumhouse for a while was great horror, and then they kind of got a little too big for themselves, and you started seeing a couple that now, if I see it's Blumhouse, I go like, it's not. My expectations aren't lowered, but they're not heightened like
Right.
they were in the early days of Blumhouse. So
Lionsgate has fallen off recently too.
Lionsgate's falling off. You know what I love seeing? Because that means I'm watching something classic that was from my childhood. I'm gonna be pumped.
I don't want Keelan to be too thrown off here, but you did mention how with music labels it doesn't really matter. And I was just going to say, when I heard that, what made me think that is correct is that people don't listen to albums really anymore.
Right.
People just listen to, a
It's a
Spotify
single.
playlist with a bunch of songs on it. So it's not like it's organized by a label or, even a particular sound for an artist. Everybody just it's a little bit more dispersed.
It's just weird how it
side
it
tangent,
changed
but-
because you thought it's like attention, our attention span's lower. Everyone's just releasing singles now. Nobody can really listen to a whole album anymore. But for movies, it actually has become a thing, like and it still is. So it's just interesting to see how it changed dynamic within different mediums.
Yeah, so I mean, I hadn't heard anything about this movie. It just, just popped up on Netflix on like Thursday or Friday. I wasn't, and I didn't even watch it until like Sunday. So, and I wasn't even particularly excited about watching it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this a try. But I will just say I fucking love Benicio del Toro. He's so awesome. And he's not even doing anything like crazy or outrageous in this movie. He's just kind of, doing his thing, or he's, you can't really get a read on him. He's always kind of thinking about shit. It's very baseline. It's not anything crazy. It's like what I was talking about with Idris Elba in Hijack. He's just kind of being Idris Elba. Benicio del Toro is just kind of being himself in this one, and I fucking loved every minute of it. Everyone else in the movie is fine, not bad, not anything exceptional. I will say the film suffers a little from some characters being typecast. It's like a
Wait,
perfectly
typecast character. So Alicia Silverstone was a shopper.
uh yeah, they're just, it's okay. It's fine. It's a perfectly average like murder mystery movie. It's not bad. It's not mind blowing. It's perfectly serviceable, a little predictable, but there's still a curveball or two thrown in there that got me. It's long though. It feels
Too long.
long. And by the end of it, I still had a couple questions too. I got the gist of everything, but I don't feel like it was explained well enough. But if you like these type of movies, murder mysteries, you like Benicio del Toro, you have over 2 hours to burn. Yeah, it's worth a watch. Sure, you're not going to be disappointed, but don't expect to be blown away either. I was satisfied enough, although, like I said, I still had a couple questions. Flickable 6.3 out of 10.
What's a lower score?
Not good enough for me.
Oh,
Sorry, Reptile.
It's flickable.
Man,
It's flickable. Come on now.
even now, I've heard the whole review, and still Chris just said, "Come on, Reptile." And right when I heard that, I just immediately went back to Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat.
again. Like,
Yeah.
why did we call this
You
movie
can't
Reptile?
call-
This is
Can't
not.
call it
You
Reptile.
can't call your movie that.
May
It's
as
like, I'm
well
gonna make a
named
movie.
it Liu Kang.
Yeah, that was yes.
like it's
You know
the
what?
same thing, same effect.
You know what? I may just be a dum-dum, but I watched the movie and I have no idea why it's called Reptile. So
Oh,
that's just another one
now
of
it's
those
just false
questions. that I-
Could
advertising.
account for the critic scores, by the way. I would give this movie a far less review, knowing what it is actually about.
If it's a murder mystery or whatever, I would venture to guess that reptiles means someone's cold-blooded.
Oh, I
Mm,
like that.
Galen?
Yeah,
So is there somebody there that's
Is he-
cold blooded?
there's maybe more than one. You never know. I'm not spoiling nothing.
All right. Well, anyway, sorry, Reptile. I will not be watching you. All right. Let's do some Chez Fond-du-Lait.
Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, "Hey, Matt."
It's on the menu.
Well, this is great that we're talking about reptiles because we're going to keep it with the animal theme. Today's Chez is going to be in kind of two smaller section, and you'll see why in a second. Because first stop on today's Chez was my very first visit to a cat cafe. You guys ever been to one of those before?
No.
All right. Well, hey, no outros. No outros. We went to a place called the Perfecto Cat Lounge.
I'll be honest. We have a cat cafe. I don't even know if it's called a cat cafe, but it's just like a room with a bunch of cats. You can just hang in there with these cats and get to pet them. They have all their little cat nests and
Yep.
obstacle courses and all that stuff. And it's just hanging with the cats. Now, I would actually
That's exactly what this place is, by the
I
way.
would love to do that. I think my allergies would flare up far too much for me to even enjoy something like that. Yeah, but
It
it's a fun-
boggles the mind how everyone, and specifically I'm looking at you here, Matt, has dropped the ball on Cat Fe.
Yes, well done, sir. It should have been called that, and the entire genre should be called that. Yeah. So I'll be honest. And this is kind of a sad backstory, but miss my cats. You guys remember AIDS Kitty, who of course succumbed to his illness, and then
AIDS.
not long after we moved to Texas, my other cat, Lilu, died unexpectedly. And it's been like over a year. And I was like, you know what? I really just want to go pet some cats. Like, honestly, I miss it. And I was like, let's go. We've driven by this place a bunch of times. And this was an afternoon where the dogs were already just at the house in their kennel for the afternoon. So we're fucking going to the cat cafe.
So you looked at the wife and said, "Let's go rub some puss."
I did. I certainly did. Now there was a cafe element to this place. It
I
had
hope so.
a coffee shop.
I wouldn't
that
eat
was-
anything there. Are you kidding me? It's just gonna have hair all over it. What?
Well,
the?
here's the thing.
Absolutely not.
It's attached to the cat zone. Because you're right, Chris. The cat zone. As soon as I walked in, I forgot just how much cats smell, and it was just
Dude.
cat shit smell central there. So not a
Galen,
place that you would want to
have you
have an
ever had a
extended
cat?
meal.
I have had a cat. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, and Dawson definitely knows, and I hate to bring the subject up again, but cat urine is like more vinegary than vinegar. Like the smell of it. It is wild.
As a guy who had a cat pee in his mouth at an early
Ugh.
age, I'll
Oh,
tell you, it's not a good taste.
Shit I did as a kid. I'm gonna
I
hear
told you that
Hey,
story.
I
I
feel like
told
he's
you guys
told
that
that one.
story.
Yeah.
That's already
Okay,
public
okay.
knowledge. You got to
Okay.
get to the Patreon to get the story.
Go find it. Plain White Tees. I also interviewed on Resume if you guys want to look for that.
So I also forgot, by the way, because it has been such a long time since I've really been in the presence of cats. You got to pretend like you don't want to pet them, because if you go, oh kitty kitty, and like try to
They don't
pet the
want anything
cats,
to do.
they do not like it, and dogs are the complete opposite. They fucking love it. So it was a little bit of an adjustment period, but again, there was a coffee shop attached here, and when we walked in, I was like, I would like a latte. I will take a latte. And so I saw one of the people that was working there, and I said, I would like a latte. And she went, I'm not taking orders. Like, somebody else is going to come by though. And I was like, okay, great. And we're just like petting the cats, having a grand old
You have to
time.
make a reservation for something like this. Is there a screening process? Can anybody off the street just come in and pet these cats? What's going
You
on?
have to make like a reservation, and I don't really know what the screening process is, but I don't know. If you paid a little bit of money, pay like $10 to go. It's essentially like to adopt a cat if you really want to. And I will say, when the day comes that we are going to adopt a cat, that's a good place to go, because it's not like a bunch of traumatized cats in their kennels. They are all just like free range cats, basically.
Yeah. So the kennel cats deserve to not have a home.
No, but I'm just saying, Chris, why you gotta do that? Let me wrap up this part of the story, which is to say that after a while, I see some other visitor drinking a coffee and like being handed off a coffee by one of the other girls that works there. And I said, I would like to order a latte. And she went, ooh, they just closed.
Ooh.
Not okay.
I was like, well, this experience is fucking ruined. Like, I asked for it 20 goddamn minutes ago. Nobody. Anyway, I'm now going to change gears, because there's another animal oriented place that I've been going to a lot. It is
Wait, so
called...
what you didn't get anything to drink?
No, I got nothing to drink, Chris. I couldn't.
That's insane.
It was insane. But again, if I'm going to adopt a cat, I will go back there, but not for a coffee. But changing gears real quick, the place that I've been going to all the time lately is called the Watering Bowl. And it is a off-leash dog park that also serves beer and wine. And it's essentially like a dog park with, they call them rougheries because there's dogs, and they basically keep an eye on all of the off-leash dogs. And there's a house that has a beer and wine license, and you can just fucking buy beers and wine and socialize and hang out while all the dogs are running around. And we've been going there for months now.
You guys don't have a
And-
zoo over there in Texas? What the hell's going on? You're going to a room with cats, a place where you can pet dogs? Is there like
Well,
an ant farm there too? Like, what's going on?
Well, again, the cat petting thing was just to try to fill a hole in my heart, Chris. But the dog thing is because I have a little puppy that I'm trying to raise and socialize, so it's really for her benefit. But I will say it's just a perfect icebreaker. We've met so many people that are becoming good friends of ours because everyone just kind of keeps going to this place. And it's basically just like going to a bar and hanging out, and you can bring the dogs there too. And you don't really, I mean, obviously you're going to keep watch on your dog, but if there's any kind of scuffle, like there are people that are there to break it up immediately. Like we've been going there for months now.
Are you bringing
Never
a
had a
flask? What
negative
are you doing?
experience. Buying beer and wine. No, I'm not bringing a flask.
Beer
I'm
and
supporting
wine.
this place. I'm supporting a small business. Anyway,
You tell
cats
them
and
it's your
dogs,
birthday?
man. What's that?
You tell them it's your birthday?
No, I
Oh.
don't.
Yeah, every time he rolls up to this dog park 3 times a week, it's his birthday.
Yeah, exactly. No. But I have seen some dogs wearing birthday hats.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
cute.
So some people are coming in there saying it's their dog's birthday, which I don't know if I would stoop so low as to lie about my dog's birthday just to have my dog wear a birthday hat.
They don't get a pup cake?
I think that might be part of it. You might be able to finagle a cupcake out of them.
Yeah.
But that's not what I did. I just drank some beer. And that's what's on the menu.
The menu.
So it's like dinner and a show. So I'm glad. I'm bummed you didn't get anything at that cat cafe though. I mean, that is false advertising.
Once again, Cat Faye.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not a cafe. We're a cafe. I mean, you're getting everything that you think you paid for here. I don't know why you expect a coffee along with this this experience, sir. All right. Well, anyway, that was a great Jay Fondele, Matt, and that was Watercooler. So, let me break down what's happening this week. So this is the one podcast. We're doing another podcast later this week, and we're also doing a movie club podcast where we're breaking down the classic film Dread.
Which is on Netflix if you want to watch it.
Yeah, so we'll be diving into that wonderful film very soon. So yeah, that'll do it for this week. Thanks again for everyone hanging out. Why don't we go around and get our plugs in, and then we'll GTFO. I will start all the way in Nohoka, Mr. Mike Dawson. What's up?
Same routine as usual. This weekend, Friday night, I'm at the Comedy Chateau, 7:30 show. They've been really good to me lately. I'm getting a buckload of stage time.
And clips and stuff too. It's awesome. Oh, and like you even played your set at our last meetup. Hilarious.
Thank you.
Everybody's entertained. So
well, you know, speaking of like posting clips and stuff, you never want to give too much away, you know, because people are can't give your jokes away.
I do it on this podcast every day. What are you talking about?
But I've really just noticed
it didn't even happen to me.
So many comedians that I respect are doing it. And, you know, for the most part, like the Adam Rays of the world, they'll post their crowd work.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't do crowd work. So I'll take little clips of jokes that I don't mind if they get out there anymore. But yeah, Friday night at the Comedy Chateau, and I just booked what's going to be a super fun show in Austin, Texas, at the Vulcan Gas Company, which is where Joe Rogan used to work out, and then he created the Comedy Mothership. So the Vulcan is like,
hell yeah,
it's a good club. I'm in there, and that show is going to be November 29th. It's a Wednesday night, so it's a little rough for people, I understand, but the big thing is if I could ask for your support on this one, if you're in Austin, because if I can sell some tickets, then I can move on to bigger shows. So that'll be November 29th.
Matt's
do you know anybody who lives in Austin? I don't.
That'll be there.
I don't know. I've never been there before. Yeah,
we're gonna have a good time.
Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait for that Shea Fondele.
Oh yeah, well that's why we got Dawson and I talk off air about a schedule. We got to get some hang time.
Yep.
Damn, that rules. Well, congrats, Doss. That I'm not your manager, but I have an idea for you to post clips. Just post the setup, and then at the punchline, cut it off because it'll leave everybody intrigued to come watch you.
Dude, that's actually not a half bad idea. It's
for the rest of this show, please
bad
join me
idea.
on Friday. A little teaser, just all setups.
I like it though.
Yeah.
It's just premises, premise.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats on all the stand-up stuff, man. I've been seeing you.
It's fun.
Impressive stuff.
It's fun. It's going well. I'm actually in shock every time I get up on stage and people actually fucking laugh.
Hell yeah.
I did 2 shows on Saturday, one at Zhao Ying Summers Club in Hollywood, and then I went straight to the Comedy Chateau after that, and I walk in the door and they're like, "Hey, are you on the 10 o'clock show?" And I said, "If you want me to be." And they're like, "Hell yeah." And they put me up 4th.
Dude,
clean up.
Hey,
so
yeah.
They're good to me.
4th batter, Matt.
Well, dude, at the Chateau, Gary, there are like 17 comics.
Yeah.
In one night.
Yeah. So if you don't go up 4th, you're going to be there well into the 11 or 12 o'clock.
That's still clean up. A baseball game. Yeah. Baseball game is
but yes, it is batting cleanup.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so congrats, Doss. Speaking of everybody doing such good work, Jen messaged me last week and saying there's an anesthesiologist who's like, the anesthesiologist is a pretty great job.
That's who you want as a friend.
Yeah, an anesthesiologist at her work who they're talking about podcasts, and this guy's like, I love this podcast called Sword and Scale. And then dropped the bomb that, I know one of the guys who writes for that show. And now he thinks she's like the coolest person at that hospital. because she knows Matt Fondelier.
Nice.
Yeah. And she's like,
so we're
tell
just getting-
Matt. This is like 3 months ago. I was like, oh yeah, I will. So
That's
yeah.
exciting to hear. I love it.
Is anesthesiologist being super into Sword and Scale at all? Maybe a little
Little crossover there, a little morbid.
Yeah, a little morbid,
Questionable.
maybe.
Yeah. No, there are definitely more than a handful of episodes of
Not sure.
Dude, you have to have like
people
a
who work
really-
in the medical field who
Yeah.
have additional motives.
Yeah, when Jen was giving birth, they gave her the what's it called, the
Epidural.
Epidural.
girl. Yeah, and man, that process. He's like, you got to stand on the other side of her. You can't.
I left.
And
I
it's
left
just-
the building.
and yeah, and they're just, dude, they have thick skin, so yeah, they can handle a Sword and Scale episode. I'll just say that much. All right, Matt, what do you want to plug?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondelier. And speaking of scary stuff, it's fucking Fondleween. I want to know what horror movies
saw your
you're
cup.
watching. So please tweet me. Let me know what movies you're watching, because maybe I'll add it to the list and watch it as well, or tell Kalen to watch it and then tell me if it's any good. And then, as previously mentioned, please support us if you like us at patreon.com/watercooler.
Lots of cool content coming over there. Caitlin, so would you?
Yeah, another shout out to our new platform, Spreaker. I've really enjoyed working with them so far. And speaking of horror movies for me to watch, I watched a classic last week that I've been wanting to see for quite a while. It just has not come onto streaming, and it's finally on Peacock. So I watched it from 1982, The Thing with Kurt Russell. If you've not seen that movie, it's a classic. It's awesome. And the sequel that they made in like 2012 or something like that, also pretty fucking solid. It's got bad Rotten Tomato scores, but I watched it and I thought it was pretty decent. So yeah, do a double feature both on Peacock. If you haven't seen those movies, I'd recommend them.
Peacock's like low key awesome.
Yeah, they got
They got some stuff. I didn't think it was a good idea, but
when it's like Friday night or Saturday, Peacock is what I get my hopes up the most when I check it to see what movies are on there.
yeah,
Or what's just being released. I expect a lot out of Peacock.
it's
these days, and
Universal,
they
right?
deliver a lot. Yeah.
yeah. All right, Gary, so with you?
Yeah, as previously mentioned, please subscribe to our Patreon if that's something you're interested in. It's going to be a much easier experience over there now that all the content's going to be over there. So look forward to that, and subscribe to the Reasonable Doubt YouTube channel, youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt podcast. And you'll get to hear a podcast with a defense attorney, which is a very, very novel idea.
Rare.
I like that idea. Actually.
Medium rare. Let's
That's
be
a
honest.
neat idea.
And then as for me, you know, I've been playing a lot of gigs lately, but I am playing a gig that is free. It's public, and it is on October 21st at Wilmore Wine Bar in Long Beach. So come out and hang with me, and yeah, if you bark at me, I'll buy you a beer or a glass of Pinot Grigio, your choice. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Watercooler. We'll see you back later this week for a movie club and another Patreon episode. We love you. Goodbye.